Hey everyone, welcome to the Solve NEET. If you are preparing for NEET and want to boost your score through consistent MCQ practice, you are in the right place. Today, we are kicking off our Biology 90 question challenge. Since 90 questions are a lot for one session, we will be solving the first 45 questions today and discussing the correct answer, the concept behind it, and quick exam tips whenever needed. The remaining 45 questions will be covered in the tomorrow's video, so make sure you are subscribed and don't miss the second part. So grab your notebook, pause the video whenever you need to think, and let's start mastering biology one question at a time. And I want to tell you one more thing. If you would like a detailed explanation of any topic or chapter, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to cover it in an upcoming video. Here is our first question. The cod liver oil is a rich source of, it's a rich source of vitamin A. It is a rich source of vitamin A. And remember one thing, it is also rich in vitamin D. And here vitamin A is given, so we can directly go for vitamin A. The second question is nothing but the most abundantly found compound in nature and is nothing but the cellulose. And why cellulose is the most abundant thing in the compound in the nature? Because plants are more than animals. Plants are more than animals, and the plant cell has cell wall which is made up of the cellulose. So the most abundantly found compound in the nature is cellulose. And remember, the glucose and fructose are monosaccharides. The starch and cellulose are polysaccharides, which we will be seeing in the chapter of biomolecules. We will study it in later. And straight going to the third question, select the correct statement from the following. So round this. Correct statement should be picked out of this four statements. Okay, so the first statement is Methanobac is aerobic bacterium found in the rumen of cattle. Is that correct? Do you think it's correct? No, it's not correct. Why? Because Methanobac is anaerobic bacteria. Okay, it is seen in the rumen of cattle, it's correct, but it is not a aerobic bacterium. It is an anaerobic bacterium, which means it digests the food or it acts in the anaerobic condition where the oxygen is absent. Okay, then the second statement is biogas commonly called gobar gas. This is correct. Biogas is commonly called as gobar gas, yeah, and is pure methane. Pure methane, is this correct? No, this is not correct, because the gobar gas or the biogas contained what all things? It contains methane, definitely methane. There will be methane, and there will be carbon dioxide, there will be hydrogen also. Okay, this will be the constituents. Okay, this will be the constituents of gobar gas or the biogas. And the third statement, activated sludge, the sediment in settlement tank of sewage treatment plant is a rich source of aerobic bacteria. Is this correct? The activated sludge in which sediments in the tank, the settlement tank of sewage treatment plants, is a rich source of aerobic bacteria. Yes, it is correct. And the fourth statement, let's see the fourth statement whether it is correct or not. Biogas is produced by the activity of aerobic bacterium on animal waste. Is that correct? No, we have already seen that, right? This is anaerobic. Okay, this happens in anaerobic condition where the oxygen is absent. Okay, so now we are going to the fourth question. This is consider the following statement A to D about organic farming. So what is organic farming? So what is organic farming? Organic farming is nothing but zero waste procedure, right? It is a zero waste procedure. There is no waste. There will be no waste at the end. So what is the purpose? It it is it increases the efficiency, right? It increases the efficiency of production and maximum utilization of resources. We are using the resources at its maximum, and the efficiency of its production also increases. And now we can read the statements. The first statement: utilizes genetically modified crops like bt cotton. Is that correct? No, 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 no. And the second question is, the second statement is, it uses the organic farming uses only naturally produced inputs like compost. Is that correct? Naturally produced. Yes, it uses naturally produced. Okay, so the B is correct. But wait, we have a trick in this question, because the correct options include more than one answer, right? The correct question include more than one answer, so we have to wait. Okay, so the C question, the statement C is, it does not use pesticides and urea. Is that correct? It does not use pesticides and urea. Yeah, this is also correct. And coming to the D statement, which is, it produces vegetables rich in vitamin and minerals. Is that correct? It increases the efficiency of production. That's correct. Production will be increased, but what about the richness of vitamin and minerals? Will it increase? No, we cannot say like that. Okay, we cannot say like that. Cannot be like that. Okay, so the correct answer is both B and C. Okay, B and C only, the third answer. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Next question is from the chapter of evolution. So let's see. Fifth question: industrial melanization, or appearing dark colored melanized moth on dark and sooty colored tree bark due to smoke, was. Which is the answer? This question we will be discussing in detail later, because this is a most important chapter for our exam. And here the answer is, I'll tell you one thing, the terminology which is given in your textbook. Okay, this is the terminology which is given in your textbook, which is natural selection, which directly go for direction selection. Okay, this is direction selection. What happened during this time? Which is the evolution. Okay, so the moth had evolved. How? So before industrialization, that is in 1850s, before industrialization, there were white lichens on the tree bark. So lichens are, you know that the lichens are pollution indicators, and lichens are whitish in color. And after industrialization, what happened is, uh, after industrialization means after 1920s. Okay, what happened is, the dark color, the whitish color lichen disappeared. Okay, the lichen, these are pollution indicators, so they disappeared due to the increased pollution, due to the industrialization. Okay, so what happened? The moth, the white colored, the white colored moth evolved to become dark and sooty colored. Okay, dark colored. So this happened due to natural selection or the direct selection, because these dark colored moth are selected by nature for the survival. Okay, this should be in memory. And we will go to the next question. Let's discuss the sixth question. The testes of the great majority of mammals are typically enclosed on an extra-abdominal sac, the scrotum. The temperature inside the scrotum is lower than that in the abdomen. What will happen if the temperature in the scrotum is artificially maintained to the level of abdominal temperature? Okay, so here, what is told? So here it says, or the question is, what will happen? Okay, what will happen if the temperature of the scrotum is artificially maintained to the level of abdominal temperature? So abdominal level, you must think that abdominal level of temperature is slightly higher than, what? What? Scrotum. Okay, or outside, environment. Okay, or outside environment. So abdominal temperature is slightly higher than the outside environment. So if we are putting the scrotum inside, or if we are maintaining the temperature of scrotum also in a higher level, uh, what will happen? The functions of scrotum will not be happening, right? So let's go to the options. The first option is uh, germinal epithelium will produce a large quantity of androgen secretion. So what is inside the scrotum? Inside the scrotum there is testicles, right? There is testis, a pair of testes, that is that will be producing what? Androgen, right? That will be producing the testis. The germinal epithelium inside the testis will be producing the androgen. And if we are putting the temperature of scrotum also, I mean putting the temperature of scrotum at a higher level, what happens? The scrotum, I mean the testis will not be functional, right? So the production of androgen will decrease. So this is a wrong. Okay, wrong option. Coming to the second option, the germinal epithelium of the testis will divide faster, thus producing more sperms. Is it correct? No, no, no. This is also false. So coming to the third statement, the germinal epithelium of the testis will degenerate, resulting in sterility. Is this correct? So let's wait and we will read the fourth question, and then only we will be answering the question. So the fourth statement is the germinal epithelium will carry out normal spermatogenesis. Is that correct? Normal. Will it be working normal? No, it will not be, right? So which is the correct answer? The third is the correct answer. The germinal epithelium of the testis will degenerate and resulting in sterility. Okay. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, all of these questions we will be discussing whenever we are going through the chapter. So this is an initial phase. We will be discussing the questions only. Okay. So the next question is seventh question. After the age of 40th, the percentage of syndromes increases in the offspring of a lady. It is because. So what's the question is, after 40 years of age of a lady, the percentage of syndromes increases in the offspring. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. And why? Why this happens? Because let's go through the options. The first option is lady becomes weak. Second option, oocytes grow older. Third option, ovaries become weak. Fourth one, placenta becomes weak. So which one is the correct option? This is a direct question, right? This is a direct question, and the answer will be second one, oocytes grow older. Okay, this will result in the syndrome increase in the syndromes. Okay, syndromic rate in the offsprings. Okay, so next question, going to the next question, which is the eighth question, and is DPT. DPT gives protection against, DPT is a vaccine. Okay, DPT is a vaccine. It's a vaccine. We will study it later. And first of all, you have to think, or you have to remember this thing. DPT is a vaccine. Okay, we will be studying the immunization, vaccination, etc. later. And this vaccine DPT gives protection against, every vaccine gives protection against some kind of disorders, some kind of diseases, right? So what is meant for DPT vaccine? It's nothing but diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. Okay, diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. Polio, we have another. Okay, polio, we have polio vaccine itself. Okay, so it is wrong answer. Then diarrheal disease, is that is there any vaccination? Have you heard about it? No, there is nothing like that. And poliomyelitis, it's again the same, right? So this is not the option. This is not the option. And the second option, diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus is the correct option. So we are going to the next question, which is the ninth one. Read the question. Which one of is the best way to eradicate malaria? So what is malaria? First of all, we have to think about malaria, right? To answer this. So we have four options. So let's read one by one. Okay. So first option, using mosquito repellent oils. Second option, killing of Culex larvae. Third option, killing of Anopheles larvae. Fourth, killing of adult Anopheles. Okay. Okay. So the question is about eradication of malaria, right? Eradication of malaria. Malaria. So who is the culprit in malaria? Who is the culprit? The culprit is Plasmodium, right? The Plasmodium. Plasmodium is the culprit. But who is the vector? The vector who passes the Plasmodium larvae. Who? The vector is Anopheles. Okay. Anopheles mosquito, the female, and you must think about female. Okay. Only females are creating problem. Okay. So female Anopheles larvae. Female Anopheles larvae. Killing of female Anopheles larvae will eradicate what? Malaria. Okay. So here the vector is Anopheles, female Anopheles mosquito. So we have to kill the Anopheles larvae. So coming to the question, next, areal or connective tissue. So what is a connective tissue? What is a connective tissue? What is the function of a connective tissue? It is nothing but the linking. Okay, it is NCRT given term. Okay, NCRT, in your NCRT it is given like linking or the connecting is the function of connective tissue. Okay, so what is the function of areolar tissue? Where is areolar tissue is seen? Where areolar tissue is seen? Beneath the skin. This is also given in the textbook. Beneath the skin. So what will be the correct answer? Let's read the first. Okay, integument with the muscles. Okay, let's wait. Second option is bones with muscles. No, because bone is an inner structure, right? It's an innermost structure. So this one won't be correct. Bones with bones, is that correct? No. Okay, these structures are different. These both structures are different. Both are tendons and ligaments respectively. So we will discuss it later. And fat with muscles, is that correct? No. So which is the correct answer? The first one, integument with the muscle. Okay, this is seen beneath the skin. Remember this. Remember this point. Okay, beneath the skin. So now we are going to the 11th question, which is which cell do not form layer and remain structurally separate? So which is not forming a layer and remain structurally separate. What are the options? Epithelial cells. Epithelial cells can be seen in layers, right? So this is wrong. Muscle cell, is that correct? No. What about the gland cells? These are also seen in layers. Okay, these are structurally different, structurally separate. Okay, gland cells are structurally separate also. So what is the correct answer? It is nothing but the nerve cell. Okay, nerve cell will not form any layer and it is structurally different. This is structurally different. This is structurally different. Okay, so we will study it later in detail. So we are going to the next question, which is 12th question. In which triploblastic animal coelom is absent? Which is acylomate. Okay, the term acylomate. Okay, so which is a triploblastic organism which is a acylomate? So what is meant by triploblastic? What is triploblastic? So we have three germinal layers. We have three germinal layers. What are they? In a triploblastic animal, there will be three germinal layers. Which are they? The ectoderm, the outermost ectoderm, the middle mesoderm, then the innermost endoderm. Okay. So this is a triploblastic organism, and in which coelom is absent. This organism is acoelomate. There is no coelom. Coelom is, what is meant by coelom? What is coelom? Nothing but the body cavity. Okay, body cavity. So let's go for the options. Platyhelminthes, Saschelminthes, Annelida, and Arthropoda. What about these three? These three are coelomates. Okay, so we can directly go for the first option. Okay, this is a very simple question. Next one. 13th question. Absence of circulatory system in Hydra is compensated by. So absence of circulatory system. What is a Hydra? What is Hydra? Which phylum Hydra belongs to? Hydra belongs to Cnidaria, right? It belongs to Cnidaria or Cylindrita. Okay, just otherwise called a Cylindrita. Okay, so Cnidaria. What is the function of Cnidaria? What is the peculiarity of Cnidaria phylum? There will not be any system. There will not be any system, right? So it is mentioned absence of circulatory system, absence of a system, or absence of circulatory system in Hydra is compensated by which option? First option is pseudocoelomic fluid. Second is gastrovascular cavity. Third is presence of tentacles. Fourth is none of these. Okay, fourth is none of these. So which will be the answer? The gastrovascular cavity. Okay, so the absence of circulatory system in Hydra is compensated by the gastrovascular cavity. So the next question is 14th. Which one of the following option gives the correct matching of a disease with its causative organism and mode of infection? So what all are given? Disease, causative organism, and mode of infection. Let's go for the options. And first option is typhoid, Salmonella typhi with inspired air. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. Yes, the causative organism is correct. But the mode of infection with inspired air, is that correct? No. You know the story of Mary, typhoid Mary, who was a cook, and she sold items she cooked, and thereby she transmitted, or she acted as a vector here, right? So this was transmitted through food and water. Okay, so the mode of infection is through food and water. Okay, so next option, pneumonia, streptococcus. Okay, pneumonia is caused by streptococcus pneumoniae. That's correct. And is a droplet infection. This is also correct. The correct option is 2, but we have to go for other options also. We have to check what the wrong, how the options became wrong. That we have to study. That also we have to study. So the next option is elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is caused by Wuchereria branchofti. Wuchereria branchofti is transmitted through culex. Which culex? Female culex. Okay, female culex mosquito transmits the Wuchereria branchofti and causes the elephantiasis. Elephantiasis, otherwise known as filariasis. Okay. Next is fourth option is malaria. So malaria is caused by Plasmodium vivax. This is correct, but the mode of infection is wrong, which means bite of male Anopheles mosquito. Is that correct? No. Male. This is correct. This is wrong, right? This is caused by female. I already told you now, females will be causing all the problems. So female Anopheles mosquito here, female Culex mosquito. Okay, Culex Anopheles. Okay, now we are going to the next question, and is which one of the following is not a characteristic of phylum Annelida? So what is Annelida? Can you cite an example? Yes, earthworm, right? What is the function of, what is the peculiarity of earthworm or the phylum Annelida? These are coelomates. Coelomates. First and foremost peculiarity is these are coelomates. They have a fixed, they have a body cavity, right? So the first option itself is wrong, right? First option is says that it's pseudocoelomate. Is it correct? Pseudo means false. Pseudo means false. Okay. So this phylum Annelida has a true coelom. This has a true coelom and is a coelomate, not a pseudocoelomate. Okay. So first option is the correct one. And all other features are phylum Annelida's features: ventral nerve cord, cluster circulatory system, and segmentation, etc. Next, the correct sequence for the manufacture of molecular organic compound on the primitive earth. So this question is from evolution, from the chapter of evolution. What happened or how uh, the life formed on earth, or what all molecules were the primitive one, or what all molecules were formed first in the earth. Okay, so let's see that. So what is the basis of life? What is basic thing of life? Which is protein. So there must be protein, and protein is made up of what? Which mineral? Nitrogen, right? It is made up of nitrogen. It contains nitrogen, so definitely NH3 will be there. Yeah, NH3 will be there. Ammonia, right? Next, protein will be there. Yeah, then water will be there. Then nucleic acid is also present. Okay, the fourth option is the correct one, the ammonia or NH3, the water, nucleic acid, and the protein. Okay, all other options says carbohydrate. This is wrong. That's why I eliminated the options 1, 2, and 3 directly. So let's go for the next question. That's the 17th question. Given below is a diagrammatic cross section of human eye. So let's identify the parts. So the outermost structure, A, can be the outermost structure, which is known as the sclera. Okay. Then B will be the middle layer, which is the you know choroid, right? Next, C will be the innermost layer, which is retina. Okay. Now we have to identify the spot there. It is not clear in this picture anyway. There is a spot called, there are two spots actually. So this is the innermost layer of retina. Okay. So on the retina, there are two spots. The first one, which is centrally placed and is known as yellow spot. Okay. Yellow spot. And the other is blind spot. Okay. So yellow spot and blind spot. Here is the blind spot. And here is the yellow spot. Now after this, I will show the exact picture from the NCERT. So you'll be clear about it. Next, this chamber, this entire chamber is known as the vitreous chamber. Okay, vitreous chamber. Then, so coming to the next part, yeah, here is the blind spot. Next, this one, this is the blind spot, and here is the optic nerve. Okay, this through the blind spot, the optic nerve is coming out of the eye. So coming to the anterior part, so now the foremost or the anterior most structure which is covering the eye, the internal eye, which is the part of sclera actually, the 1/3 of sclera. Okay, 1/3 anterior 1/3 of sclera, which is known as anterior 1/3 of sclera, which is known as cornea. Okay, this bulging is known as cornea. And here is the chamber called aqueous chamber. Here is, it is vitreous chamber, and here this is aqueous chamber which contains aqueous humor. Next, the protruding part, and this protruding part is known as the iris. Okay, this protruding part is known as iris. Coming to the bulged part, this is the lens. Okay, the lens, the biconvex lens of human body. Okay, now here is another structure which is denoted. This is the ciliary body. Okay, this is the ciliary body. We will see the exact picture. Okay, now we will see the exact picture, then you will understand. Okay, this is the picture from the NCRT. So we will go from the anterior part to the posterior part, you know, the left side to right side. So the aqueous, you have seen the cornea, the anterior most part, which is the cornea. The second one is aqueous chamber, and towards the side there is iris and ciliary body. Then there is a lens, the biconvex lens. Then we have the vitreous chamber which contains the vitreous humor, and we have the yellow spot. The centralmost part of yellow spot is known as fovea, or yellow spot otherwise known as fovea. Okay, then the blind spot, and after that we have the optic nerve coming out through the blind spot. Then we have outermost the innermost retina, the middle part, the choroid, then the sclera. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of eye. Now going to the next question, that is, find out the correct sequence of the event during muscle contraction from the answer code given below. So let's read the options. So first one is calcium ion link bridge formation. Second one, release of calcium ion from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Third one, hydrolysis of ATP, then shortening of myosin head. So what happens during the contraction? So let's remember what happens during the contraction. We know we have actin filaments and we have myosin filaments. Okay, we have actin filaments and we have myosin filaments. Okay, so first of all, what will be happening? What will be taking place? Release of calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So we know the sarcoplasmic reticulum will be there, and the sarcoplasmic reticulum will release what? Ca2 plus. Okay, which is the calcium ions. So calcium ions, after the release of calcium ions, what will be happening? This calcium ion should be used, right? So what is its purpose? What is its purpose? So what is its purpose? Calcium ion link bridge formation. Okay, it will lead to the bridge formation, bridging between what and what, between the actin and myosin filaments. Okay, we will see this in detail later. So now just read the question and try to answer it. Okay, so release of calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum is followed by calcium 2 plus ion link bridge formation. Okay, the bridge formation. And then third, what will be happening? So for what the formation of bridge taking place is for shortening of the myosin head, or for shortening of the sarcomere. Okay, for the shortening of the sarcomere. Okay, this is the purpose of bridge formation, for shortening the size of the, or the length of the sarcomere. This is the function. So what should be needed is energy. For this purpose we need energy. So hydrolysis of ATP will be the third step, and then what happens is shortening of myosin head. Okay, shortening of myosin head will take place, and the sarcomere gets shortened. Okay, so this is the events during muscle contraction. We will study it in later. Now we'll go to the next question, and here the answer is 4. Okay, next we'll go for the next question. 20th question. 20th question is little deeper, but you have to study this also. Okay, so this is if the vagus nerve, okay, there is a nerve called a vagus nerve, and this vagus nerve main nerves of the parasympathetic nervous system. We know there are parasympathetic and uh, sympathetic nervous system, and vagus nerve is a part of parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, and what is said in the question is, the if the vagus nerve, the main nerves of the parasympathetic nervous system, were cut, which of the following would be true? So what will happen if we cut the uh, vagus nerve? Okay, so let's try to answer this. Okay, so what happens if the vagus nerve, so the nerve was vagus nerve, right? Vagus nerve. So what happens if the vagus nerve is cut? Vagus nerve is cut, then the heart rate will not be um stopping, but the heart rate will increase. Okay, the heart rate will increase if the vagus nerve is cut. Okay, so the normal function of vagus nerve is, it is parasympathetic system, right? So it slows down the heart rate. So if it is cut, then the heart rate will increase. Then coming to the diaphragm part, so what happens if vagus nerve is cut? Nothing will be happening. Diaphragm will be affected if phrenic nerve. Okay, other nerve is phrenic nerve. Phrenic nerve. If phrenic nerve is hurt, then diaphragm will be paralyzed. Okay. Then what happens if what happens to the adrenaline secretion? Anything will be happening if the vagus nerve is cut? No. Okay. So adrenal gland, or the secretions of adrenal gland, is controlled by, especially the adrenal medulla is controlled by sympathetic system. Okay, sympathetic system, not the parasympathetic system, but the sympathetic system. So the adrenaline secretion does not stop. Okay, so what is the answer? Now you can answer this. What is the answer? None of this. Okay, next question. 21st. If human RBC are placed in pure solute free water, they will, first option, come together in clumps. Second, shrivel, swell and burst, then remain unaffected. What will be happening? What will be happening? Osmosis will be happening, right? Sorry. We have RBC. So if you are putting in a solute free water, that is pure water, okay, what happens is osmosis. The water will enter the RBC, and the size of RBC enlarges, and finally it bursts out. Okay, this is gonna happen. And next is 22nd question. Which of the following is not a correct statement? All enzymes are proteins, but all hormones are not proteins. Is that correct? All enzymes are proteins. Yeah, enzymes are proteins. Hormones are also proteins, but not all hormones are proteins, because we have androgens, right? What is its specialty? This is steroid, right? Okay, next. Enzymes are mostly used. Enzymes are mostly used locally. Hormones are circulated in blood. Is that correct? Yes. Then enzymes catalyze metabolism. reaction and are reusable, but hormones are completely used up in metabolism. Is that correct? Is that correct? Enzymes catalyze the metabolic reaction. Yes. I is reusable. Then what about the hormones? Completely used up. Yes, this is correct. Then which one is the not, which one is wrong? Enzymes and hormones are obtained from food, not synthesized by the body. This is wrong. Enzymes and hormones both are synthesized in food. Next question, 23rd question. In the given equation, A, B and C are. So this is the equation, A, B and C. So what is A? So pulmonary artery will carry what? Pulmonary artery. Normally arteries carry pure blood. Veins carry impure blood. But in case of heart and the system of circulation, the pulmonary artery, okay, the term pulmonary came in front, right? So pulmonary artery will be carrying impure blood and pulmonary vein will be carrying pure blood. Okay, so here it is. So here it is impure. This is pure. So impure blood is taken to somewhere and the pure blood is taken to somewhere. Pure blood is needed by you can answer. The impure blood is from the heart. Okay, from the heart the impure blood is taken to the lungs to purify. Okay, and from lungs it is get purified and it is taken back to the heart. And you know the structure of or the yeah the structure of heart. Okay, so we have right atria, right ventricle, left atria, left ventricle. So the impure blood is collected, impure blood. Okay, so the impure blood will be in the right side of the heart and this is taken to the lungs. This is taken to the lungs to get purified. And this is given back to the left side of the heart. Okay, to the left atrium, particularly to the left atrium. And through the left ventricle, this pure blood is taken out or this is gone out to the tissues. So which is the correct option here? It is the first option itself, right? The heart, the lungs, then the heart. Okay. Now we'll go to the next question. 24th question. So the carbon monoxide has greater affinity for hemoglobin as compared to the oxygen. So it is a static point which you have to by heart. This is 200 times greater affinity for hemoglobin. So the carbon monoxide is a toxic gas. This is the result of incomplete combustion. Okay, incomplete combustion. For combustion, what is needed? Oxygen is needed. So if in the absence or in less oxygen supply, what happens is incomplete combustion happens. Okay, and as a result the carbon monoxide is released, and this carbon monoxide has a greater affinity, the 200 times a greater affinity for hemoglobin than oxygen. Okay, now we will go to the next question. 25th question. The bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis is widely used in contemporary biology as, so first one, indicator of water pollution, insecticide, agent for production of dairy products, then source of industrial enzyme. Which is the correct one? Is that an indicator for water pollution? No. Then which one is indicator of water pollution? Escherichia coli. Okay, E. coli. E. coli on lab test, we will, if we are finding E. coli, uh, which means the water is contaminated. Okay, so, or the water contains fecal matter, contaminated with the fecal matter. Then the water contains E. coli. So what about insecticide? Yes, Bacillus thuringiensis is used as an insecticide. How? Using biotechnology. How? By genetic modification, right? This is a genetically modified organism. Okay, by genetic modification, it is used as an insecticide. Okay. So next is agent for production of dairy products. What is this? Lactobacillus, right? For the formation of curd. And then source of industrial enzyme. This is not Bacillus thuringiensis, right? Now 26th question. A is Cala-tympani. Yeah, A is Cala-tympani. So this is structure of ear, right? Inner ear, structure of inner ear. So not the structure but the diagrammatic representation. So A is Cala-tympani, then B is Scala media, and C is Scala vestibule. And what is D? This is the question. There is a minute pore shown as D, and what is this? Can you reply? I mean, can you answer? Yeah, this is not Fenestra ovalis, this is not Fenestra rodentis, this is Helicotrema. Okay, this is Helicotrema. Now 27th question. Examine the diagram of two cell types A and B given below and select the correct option. So there are two cell types. Okay, so two cell types A and B are given here. Yeah, this is the picture. Yes. So what is this? Let's see what this is. So first option, cell A is a rod cell found evenly all over retina. Evenly all over retina. Is that correct? Rod cell evenly all over retina. This is wrong. The statement itself is wrong, right? So let's eliminate it. Then the cell A is a cone cell more concentrated in the fovea centralis. Let's wait. Then cell B is concerned with the color vision in bright light. Let's see what cell B is. What is cell B? Is that a cone or a rod? This is a rod, right? This is a cone, right? So is that option correct? Cell B is concerned with the color vision. Is that correct? No. Rods are concerned with the night vision. Okay, and cones are concerned with the color vision. Next, cell A is sensitive to low light intensity. Is that correct? No, this is related to the color vision. Okay, this is cone cell and this is color vision. Now, which is the correct answer? Tell me which is the correct answer. The second option, right? Cell A. Cell A is cone cell more concentrated in the fovea centralis. So then tell me what is fovea centralis? Nothing but the yellow spot. Okay. The middle portion of yellow spot is known as the centralmost portion of yellow spot is known as the fovea centralis. Okay, you should by heart this. This is given in the NCERT. The term fovea is given in NCERT. Okay. Now we will go to the next question. Growth hormone. So growth hormone is released from where? Growth hormone is secreted from growth hormone is secreted by anterior pituitary. Okay, this is a basic idea. Anterior pituitary. Growth hormone GH is secreted from pituitary. Okay, especially anterior pituitary. Let's go to the options. Is released by the hypothalamus. Is that correct? No. Now, can cause adults to grow taller. Adults to grow taller, which means it will cause acromegaly. Okay. If the growth hormone causes growth in adult, means acromegaly. Okay, this is an anomaly. This is a disease. Okay, next. Uh, Third option, stimulates protein synthesis. Is that correct? Stimulate protein synthesis. How a body grow? So protein is one of the constituents of the body, right? So if growth hormone released, then protein will also increase. Okay, the protein will also get synthesized, then the growth of the body will go increased. Okay, it stimulates the growth of the body and is a steroid. Is growth hormone a steroid? No, this is a peptide. This is a protein. Okay, this is a protein hormone. Pituitary hormones are protein hormones. Okay, there is a statement inside your NCRT, so must remember it. Okay, so the answer here is stimulates the protein synthesis. Now we'll go to the next question. Parathormone stimulates calcitonin. Parathormone. Okay, this is a hormone. This is another hormone. Parathormone. Parathormone, which is secreted by the parathyroid gland. Okay, parathyroid, which is 4 in number. Okay, parathyroid is 4 in number. This is the thyroid gland. We can see parathyroid here. Okay, so these are the parathyroid. These are the parathyroid glands. This is the thyroid. Okay. So, parathormone is released when the blood calcium level falls. Okay, what is parathormone's function? Parathormone withdraws calcium. Okay, parathormone withdraws calcium ions from bone and muscles, etc., and it maintains the calcium blood calcium level. Okay, next 30th question is Brenner's gland. Brenner's gland are present in which part of alimentary canal? Stomach doesn't has, ileum doesn't has, then esophagus has no associated or no accessory glands. Okay, so which is the answer? Duodenum. Now the 31st question, which of the following hormone is a steroid? So let's see which one is a steroid. So the first option itself, you see the aldosterone. Aldosterone is adrenal hormone. Okay, this is an adrenal hormone. It is produced by adrenal gland, right? And but this is a steroid. Okay. Now, 32nd question. The flight or fight response is developed by hormones of fight or flight. Fight or flight. Epinephrine and norepinephrine. or adrenaline or noradrenaline, both are same, which is adrenaline, adrenaline or and noradrenaline. Okay, so it is released from adrenal gland, and the option is given like adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. So the adrenal gland has two parts actually. Okay, the medulla part, the cortex part. So which part will release flight or fright hormones? That is the adrenal hormone, adrenal and noradrenaline. Which one? It is adrenal medulla. Okay, so remember this. It is adrenal medulla. Next, 33rd question. Cells of Leydig are found in. Where is Leydig cells are found? Testis, right? Yes. And Leydig cells are related to what? Leydig cells will release luteinizing hormone. Okay, luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone results in spermatogenesis. Okay, now next question, 34th question. With respect to the blood, the mammalian kidney does not have an important role in maintaining which of the following? Mammalian kidney. Alright, with respect to the blood, the mammalian kidney does not have an important role in maintaining which of the following? Water content, osmotic concentration, blood pressure, and glucose level is given. So, what is the function of mammalian kidney, or what is the function of kidney? It will maintain water, right? It will maintain water content. That's correct. Osmotic concentration. Yes, this will regulate the osmotic concentration. What about the blood pressure? It will regulate the blood pressure also. And what happened to the fourth option? This is glucose level. Will it maintain or will it regulate the glucose level? No. Okay, so the answer is 4, glucose level. Now, 35th question, glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Glomerular hydrostatic pressure is present in. We will see this question in detail. Okay, later while we discuss the chapter. Okay, so which is the answer? Glomerulus of uriniferous tubule. Okay, this contains the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. And the 36th question, by the end of the second month of pregnancy, the fetus develops. Okay, now let's go through the options. What about the heart? By the end of first month. By the end of first month. Okay, now limbs and digits, second month. What about limbs and external genital organs? First trimester, which means 12 weeks. Okay. Next, most major organ system. This is also first trimester. Okay, so which is the answer? Second one. Okay. Now we'll go to the 37th question. Urea formation takes place in, is it in kidney? No, excretion can be taken place, right? Next, liver, spleen, and urinary bladder. The urea formation asked is urea formation. So the urea formation takes place in the liver. Okay. Urea formation takes place in the liver. Okay, here the conversion happens. Now we go to the next question. The main function of contractile vacuole of protozoa. Protozoa is a protist, right? It is a protist. And the contractile vacuole, it has the function of osmoregulation. Okay, don't forget it. It's osmoregulation. It's not nutrition, it's not phagocytosis, it's not excretion. And see, phagocytosis is a function of vacuole, but it is food vacuole. Okay, in amoeba. Okay, this also can be understood. Next, 39. In man, the tricuspid valve separates the tricuspid valve. There is a trick to remember this. So we have already studied the structure. Sorry. Okay. So this is the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Now, between the right ventricle and right atria, there is the tricuspid. So here is also R, here also R. Okay, this is the trick to remember. And between the left ventricle and left atria, there is the bicuspid. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. 3 of the following pair of human skeletal part are correctly matched with their respective inclusive skeletal category, and one pair is not matched. Identify the non-pairing match. Okay. So skeletal parts are given and the category also given. Okay. Now we will go for the options. Sternum and ribs, axial skeleton. Yes. The sternum. Sorry. Okay. The sternum and the ribs. Okay. The sternum and the ribs are axial skeleton. Okay. Then the clavicle and glenoid cavity. Wait for a minute. Say the third option, humerus and ulna, appendicular skeleton. So what is humerus and ulna? These are parts of upper limb, right? Yeah. So first of all, we have a humerus. Then we have two bones, ulna and radius, right? Ulna and radius. This is humerus. This is appendage, right? So upper limb is an appendage. So appendicular skeleton. Okay. So it's a part of appendicular skeleton. This option is also correct. Then the fourth one is malleolus and the stapes. Malleolus and stapes are bones in ear. Okay. This is ear ossicles. This is correct. So which is the wrong one? The second one. Which means, clavicle and the glenoid cavity will come under pectoral girdle. Not under the pelvic girdle, but the pectoral girdle. Pelvic girdle is related to the hip, okay, to the lower lip, and pectoral girdle is related to the upper lip. Okay. Now we will go to the next question. Given below the following statements. Okay, Pinus is monoecious while the Cycas and Mertensia are dioecious. Haplontic life cycle is found in Ectocarpus and Kelps. Both green algae and brown algae have two flagella at apical position. Presence of single-celled thick jacket around sex organ is common feature between bryophytes and pteridophytes. The sporophyte of liverwort is partial parasite over gametophyte. Okay. So how many statements are wrong? This is the Question. How many statements are wrong here? Is this correct? This is about the first chapter, right? I mean the algae. So the first one is algae. We study the plants and the kingdom plantae, and algae comes first. So is this correct? No, right? This is the given features like 2 to 8 flagella and apical position. These all are related to green algae or the chlorophyceae, not about the brown algae. Okay, so the statement is wrong. Okay, the statement is wrong. Now, go for another wrong one. What about the first statement? Is that correct? Pinus. It is related to Pinus and Cycas, right? It is related to gymnosperm. Okay. So Pinus is monoecious, and while the Cycas and Mertensia are dioecious. Is that correct? What is monoecious and dioecious means? Monoecious means both the, I mean, for example, pine has male and female. Okay, male and female corn in the same tree. Okay, in the same tree, pine has the male and female cones. So it is called monoecious on the same plant. Okay, same plant. Here is involvement of one plant only. Okay, one tree only. So it is monoecious. Then what is dioecious? Male and female genetic part are, or the productive reproductive parts are on different plants, right? On different male and female plants, and examples are Cycas and Mertensia. Okay, this is correct. Then which one is wrong? So what about ectocarpus and kelps? Is that having a haplontic life cycle? Haplontic life cycle is for algae, right? What about ectocarpus and kelps? What about it? Ectocarpus, ectocarpus and kelps has haplodiplontic. Okay, this has haplodiplontic. Haplodiplontic. We will study it in later. Okay, haplodiplontic life cycle. So this option is wrong and this one is wrong. Any other? So presence of single-celled thick jacket around sex organs is common between bryophytes and pteridophytes. Is it correct? Is it correct? Is it correct? No. Why? Single-celled. No. This is multi-celled. Okay. Multicellular. So here is the correction. Okay. So all total 3 options. This one is wrong, this one is wrong, and this one is wrong. Okay. 3 options are wrong. So the answer is 3. Yeah, the second option. Okay. Now we will go to the 42nd question. Select the wrong pair. Okay, select the wrong pair. Now, sapwood is light in color. Yes, sapwood is light in color. We have sapwood and hardwood, and sapwood is light in color, hardwood is dark in color. And cloudwood assembly is ruscus. Next, molybdenum, activator or component of nitrogenase. That's also correct. Then what about the fourth option? Golgi body detoxification of toxic substance. Is that correct? No. Why? Detoxification of toxic substance is a function of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, then what is the function of Golgi body? Golgi body packs. Okay, packaging is the function of Golgi body. Packaging of what? The products made by the cell. What is it? The protein, etc. Okay, so these are the protein, the fatty acids, etc. are packed by the Golgi body. Now, now, no. The 43rd question, given below the following statements, the promoter is said to be located 3' end of the structure gene of coding strand. The DNA sequence coding for tRNA or rRNA molecule cannot define as a gene. Introns or intervening sequence do not appear in both mature RNA or E. coli. RNA polymerase 3 synthesize snRNA, 5sRNA and tRNA. The DNA dependent RNA polymerase catalyzes the polymerization on those strands of DNA that has polarity 5' right arrow, then 3' during 5' to 3'. Okay, right arrow means 5' to 3', 5' to 3' during transcription, which is a wrong statement. Okay, let's see which one is wrong. The promoter is located at the 5' end. Okay, the coding strand 5' end, not the third prime end. Okay, not the third prime end, not the third prime end, but the 5' end. Okay, next option, next one, the DNA. So this is wrong. Okay, then the DNA sequence coding for tRNA or rRNA cannot be defined. Okay, this cannot be defined as a DNA, I mean gene. Is this correct or not? A gene is a DNA sequence that codes for functional products. Since the tRNA and rRNA are functional RNA molecules, the DNA sequencing encodes them as genes. Okay. So the tRNA, this statement is wrong. Here it is set as cannot defined as a gene. This can be a gene. Okay, that's a good thing. And then the next one is the next statement. What about the C statement? Introns or intervening sequence do not appear in both mature RNA. Is that correct? Yes, this is correct. Then what about the D? RNA polymerase 3 synthesize snRNA, 5sRNA, then 5sRNA, rRNA, then tRNA. Is that correct? Yes, this is given the textbook. So this is correct. Then E, the DNA dependent RNA polymerase catalyzes the polymerization on the strand of the DNA that has polarity 5' to 3' during transcription. Is that correct? No. Why? The RNA polymerase reads the template strand which has 3' to 5' polarity. Okay. So the synthesis of RNA takes place in 5' to 3' direction, but the template strand or the RNA polymerase reads the template strand in 3' to 5' polarity. Okay, this is the correction. So there are three wrong options. So three wrong options. Three wrong statements were given. Okay, so the answer is fourth one. Now we will go for the next question. Which of the following has long ribbon like pollen grains and show hydrophily? What is hydrophily? The pollination taking place with the help of water. Okay, hydro means water, right? Hydro is water. So through the help of water, the pollination takes place. And in which plant? It is in the Zostera. Okay, it takes place in the Zostera. Why Zostera? What about the water lily and hyacinth? These all are water plants, right? Water lily, water hyacinth, both are also water plant. Then what happens to the pollination? Both water lily and water hyacinth has beautiful flowers. Okay, and this beautiful flower is meant for insect pollination. Insect pollination. Insect pollination is otherwise known as entomophily. Okay, here is this source for Zostera it is hydrophily, and for other plants it is entomophily. Okay, now we are going to the 45th question. Select the correct. Okay, select the correct option. No, correct option. So it is talking about the PCR. What is PCR? PCR is nothing but the amplification of DNA segment. Okay, amplification of DNA segment. So from a single segment, it can be converted, it can be amplified to 1 billion. Okay, 1 billion segments. So this is the function of PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Okay, so what are the steps of PCR? First is denaturation of DNA sequence, right? Denaturation, then primer annealing, then extension. These three are the process of PCR. Now, which is the correct option? So this means 94 degrees Celsius. Okay, and this means 40 to 65 degree Celsius. So which is the correct option? And here it is 72 degrees Celsius. Okay, which is the correct option? Shall exclude this part. Why? Because this one is correct. Why? The tag DNA polymerase will be there. Okay, so the extension is a process where the tag DNA polymerase and deoxyribonucleotides at 72 degrees Celsius. This process contains, or this process involves all these steps. So the extension, this one is the correct option, 72 degrees Celsius. This is a direct question from the textbook. Okay. So the remaining, so we have completed 45 questions, and the remaining 45 questions will be covered in the next video. So make sure you are subscribed and don't miss the second part. Now I hope this session helped you revise important biology concepts and boosted your confidence. Tomorrow we will continue with the remaining 45 questions to complete this 90 question challenge. Okay, if you found this video very helpful, please like, share it with your NEET friends, and subscribe to the channel for more MCQ practice, concept revision, and exam oriented content. Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, every question you solve today brings you one step closer to your dream medical college. See you in the next video. Happy studying.